What's up, action takers? Today we're going to talk about how emotions affect you and what you can do to make the most out of them. Before we get started though, this is not a substitute for professional help. If you have a serious mental health condition, please seek help. What's up guys? I'm Dr. Tank PharmD, board certified practicing pharmacist and personal health coach, helping action takers like you take control of their lives in a structured format. Now, although I am a practicing medicine specialist, I'm not your specialist. So if you have specific questions about your condition, please see your doctor. Let's get on to it. So who is this video for? If you're an action taker and you don't have serious mental health condition and you've always wondered how emotions function, this could help you. So stay tuned to the end of the video. So what is an emotion? According to the Oxford Dictionary, emotions are a natural instinctive state of mind deriving from one's circumstances, mood, or relationships with others. According to Dr. Lisa Firestone, clinical psychologist, many of our actions are initiated by emotion. Clinically, this is important because our emotions drive most of our daily function. And it's also important because if we have a good emotional outlook on life, clinical studies have shown that you live longer than if you had a poor outlook on life. The Disney movie Inside Out had the right idea. The movie had 5 characters portraying human emotions, and they observed the life through the human they lived inside. These emotions were fear, anger, happiness, sadness, and disgust. These are only the basic breakdown of what emotions are, but it's helpful in identifying them. These characters live in the human and observe everything the human sees. When they observe it, they're able to take over the command center and project their emotion through the human. When they project their emotion, it overwhelms the human. And that's the big problem, is that because the human doesn't understand the emotion, it takes over them. So the big mistake I see is that when people have these emotions that overwhelm them, they try to respond by suppressing it. And the more you suppress it, the less you understand it. Think about the last time you felt an emotion completely overwhelm you. You weren't able to think straight because it took over your mind. So, you probably did what I did. You repressed the emotion and hoped that it would go away. But there's the problem. If you repress the emotion, you're not understanding it. You're not even identifying it. And if you don't identify it, how are you even going to learn from it when it comes back? So you're probably thinking, okay, I identified it. Now what? Well, if you identify it, it puts you in a third-person perspective. It makes you look at it with a step back. If you take a step back and identify it, it has less control over you. And when it has less control over you, you're less of a victim of it. You might not be able to control it, but at least it has less control over you. The second thing you want to do is to understand the physical reactions of emotions. Emotions are hormones and physical responses in the body. Once they grab hold, it accelerates that emotional impact it has on you, and it hijacks your mind. You have to treat these physical responses as if it was body contact on you. You have to physically feel what it feels like to have these emotions. For example, that's what it means to have a pit in your stomach, or a sinking feeling in your stomach, or a tingling in your face. These are physical reactions, and these are what it means to feel an emotion. When I used to get angry, I would feel that fire in my belly. And when that fire in my belly grabs hold of me, and the emotions take over, it'd be uncontrollable. I had to identify the emotion, but it was hard because the physical reactions had already encompassed my entire mind. So what I did was, I realized there was a physical reaction. And sometimes that physical reaction preempts the hijacking of your mind. So when I felt that pit in my stomach, I knew I was getting angry, or I was going to. So I had to step back and figure out what was going on. So think about the last time your body had a physical reaction to something, an emotional impact. Did your body have a physical response? Did you notice it back then? And more importantly, will you notice it now? If you've identified the emotion and felt the physical response from it, the next thing you want to do is take action. The body naturally and instinctively wants to take action. It wants to react physically and respond. The biggest misconception people have is that uncontrolled emotions are bad. Therefore, we have to stop the emotion. That's not necessarily true. It's the actions we take from those uncontrolled emotions that are the problem. People react and lash out from uncontrolled emotions, and they regret their actions. So what can you do in this situation? Well, once you've identified the emotion and felt the physical response from it, you're able to step back a little. And once you step back and take a third-person point of view, you're able to consider the actions that you need to take. And that's the one thing that you can control. It's the actions that you take from your emotional responses. When you consider your actions, there are two things you need to consider. One, does it help you feel better? And two, what are the consequences of your actions? If you don't take any action, you're stuck with feeling the emotion and dwelling on it. And that doesn't help you mentally. In addition, there's also a physical response to your body from emotion. So you need a physical outlet for those emotions. And you need a healthy physical action for those emotions. What are things that you can do? You can cook or clean, which distracts you mentally, and it's productive. You can go for a walk or go to the gym. People who work out are able to mentally unwind because they're able to let out their aggression on working out. In addition, it's a physical outlet for them. And the benefit from all that is that they physically get better. So you get a mental benefit and a physical benefit that loops back to being an overall benefit because you get healthier. So we've learned about how to identify emotions and what they do to your body. And we've also learned about the actions that you need to take when you have these emotions. One thing I'd like to talk about though is that emotions are like a boost to the system. If you've ever seen any of the Fast and Furious movies, you see that NOS can help you boost your car into another mode. But the problem is, if you don't have a great engine, or you're a terrible driver, that boost is going to wreak havoc to your system. It's the same way with your emotions. They boost you in a way that's either super productive or counterproductive. You have to have a solid foundation of beliefs and values that benefit yourself and others. If you don't, you become a victim of your own emotions. But if you have a solid set of values and beliefs, the emotions provide a boost that takes you to the next level. So if you're having trouble implementing some of these, click in the link below for a full webinar on what you can do to take back control of your life. So until next time guys, stay healthy.